Like I said, you'll see Friday night. I like to have a bit of. I'm Aussie.
One quick sea story about Australia. I spent 5 weeks on the same ship, the USS Blue Ridge, going around the coast of Australia. We did it in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And we hit major ports. And I got back to Japan, and I found that I had a 1,000. Then this is like in the early '90s. I had a visa bill for $1,500 US dollars, and pretty much it was just spent on pubs.
Yeah, pubs whole, up and down Australia. Well, what was the best beer? Victoria Bitter, Carlton Draft.
Actually, it was my first time trying cider. What was it? Strongbow?
Strongbow. Yeah, okay.
And so I was like all about the Strongbow because I think it was like 7 or 8% alcohol. Yeah.
One of the things that which I'll raise and hear your thoughts. That one of the things that we talk about is like, for example, when I'm struggling, or like when things are financially more difficult or something like that, we try not to drink and don't touch it as much, because we don't want that to be the solution to the problem. But when things are going well, then it's like, have a good time, and that's
a much more healthy, normal approach, I think, to drinking. Because my approach was just completely the opposite. And I think for a lot of alcoholics and addicts is when times are challenging, when times are difficult, that's when that God-shaped hole really starts to hurt.
But then you always wake up, and that hole that was this big is now this big, and then the one that was this big is now this big.
Exactly.
And
that's the thing.
Keeps going.
Just keeps growing. And
yeah.
Right.
So I think it's definitely a question that people ask as you start to get into to ages of what that line is.
Right. And I think an important thing to realize is that line is going to be different for every person. What might be normal drinking for one person and not a problem, and eventually they'll just stop on their own. Either they'll realize they have responsibilities and it will no longer be an issue or be a problem. Might be a completely different line for another person. That's a good thing. Every person kind of has to sort of, I guess, figure out what their relationship is with alcohol for themselves, and what that's going to look like in their life, And if at any point they start asking themselves, well, is this a healthy relationship? Do I have a healthy relationship with this? And if they continue to have that same sort of nagging question in the back of their head,
if you're waking up too many times thinking that, then
maybe you might want to talk to somebody.
Yeah, then there's a problem.